Guys, here we are with the new episode for Over&Out. Today we'll be discussing the upcoming India versus England series, also known as the Anderson Tendulkar series. We weren't able to discuss the IPL final because Punjab lost, and here we are, and let's do this.
Basically, test season on, boys. Enough with the T20s. I think everyone got bored. I did at least.
I also got bored.
Yeah, I got so bored with the T20. Again, that's a very weird thing to say, but I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I think we all have the T20 fatigue.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, yeah, we have two guests that haven't been here and haven't been here in a while. So, it's going to be interesting to know what your opinions are on this. You're not going to be representing England. It's a neutral podcast. So, anyway, I think the main thing that we should start with is the squad. Obviously, that's the main point. I think for both the teams, that's the most interesting thing about this.
What are you saying? I don't see anything new in the Indian squad.
Okay, we'll fly with that. Anyway, I think while discussing the squad earlier, when we were discussing off camera, one thing that we do want to highlight while discussing the squads would be what's one strength that a team is carrying, one thing if you have to pick, and one thing that you'll have to look out for that, I'm not really sure on that, but I want to see how it pans out. So maybe we start with Mr. Ali. Do you want to maybe discuss what the playing 11 would look like for, let's say, India? Let's start with India.
Yeah, so especially after the retirement of Rohit and Kohli, I think it's gonna change a lot. But I feel like this could be good for India because past performances haven't been good for me, at least. Like the WTC series was disappointing, and even the New Zealand series was disappointing. So I think this could be a fresh start, and like Gill's captaincy, maybe he's a aggressive captain and leads India to the first series win in England after 2007. I think
2008.
Yeah,
2008.
Yeah, no, I think it doesn't matter.
Maybe, yeah. It's been a while. 18 years. That's all I know.
So it's hard to predict right now, but I feel like if I talk about the top order, I feel like Jaiswal is going to open. Probably, in my opinion, I think Sai Sudarshan should open because I feel like KL should come at number 4 with Gill coming at number 3. But that's my opinion. But I think like maybe India sees it differently.
But my question is, obviously KL Rahul coming at number 4 provides stability to the Indian middle order. But would you want to expose Sai Sudarshan to the new Duke's ball in England? Because obviously
This is WTC.
so it's going to be challenging there.
Yeah, I don't think he's played before. But I think from what I've read and from what I've researched a little bit, he's done well in the county stint that he had in England. So he's not too unfamiliar with the conditions. And the English bowling attack is also not very experienced as it was, say a couple of years ago, or say the last series that took place in 2021. So I think if there was a good time to make a debut in England, it is now for Sai Sudarshan.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think I understand the hesitation of playing a debutant while opening for such a big series, especially with the starting of the WTC cycle now, 25-27. But he's a good player. Good player will play good anywhere that he plays, and I really don't see him anywhere else except opening.
Yeah, and you know what? You know who he reminds me of? Remember Mayank Agarwal making his debut in the Boxing Day Test match in 2018, got some 70 odd runs, and then again in the next Test match got some 70 odd runs. So yeah, I mean this could be a blessing for the Indian team.
That was the third test. So would you want him to open in the third test or the first test?
First test, bang on, man.
I think the point they forced Kohli out, Rohit Sharma out. So I think like that they were planning for the future.
Forced Kohli, Rohit Sharma out. Okay, you just slipped in there, bro. It's a heavy topic. You can't just say stuff like this and maybe move on.
That's 2 months of speculation in one sentence.
And we discussed already before the podcast that we're not gonna delve too much into this, but let's try to come back to it. But we can discuss it for a few minutes. Okay, so Sai Sudarshan coming in, Rohit Sharma going out, forced out, whatever. In my opinion, I think it was time for Rohit Sharma to go. A lot of people will hate me for this, but he has been a okay test player. He's been a great white ball player, probably one of the best India's ever produced. A good captain, I would say. But test match, it's rigorous, it requires it requires, I don't know, man. Maybe his away record is just not putting him in that position to be him playing. Like, for example, Virat Kohli ke liye, I can still say that he had at least a year or two left in him for test matches. He was getting there. He was getting back.
Yeah.
So Rohit Sharma, I'm not really sure if he was forced out or not.
Yeah.
But Virat Kohli was a little bit of a shocker for me.
Yeah.
So because he was discussing with, I don't know if you saw Delhi ke coach ke saath, so when he started playing domestic, he was discussing that he has plans for the England series and everything. Again, that's what the coach has said. So I don't know why that happened, but again, we have to move on. Honestly, आज नहीं तो अगली series में होना था, नहीं तो उससे अगली में होना था. You guys want to chime in on this issue?
For me, I think, yeah, as you said, I think even for me, I think Rohit has underachieved in his test career, because if if I just look, like from a neutral perspective, I would if I just keep his test record aside, I would think that he would score more in countries like Australia and South Africa rather than England. But his only test century has come in England, in a country.
Oh yeah.
So because Rohit is a very good player of pull shots, and he plays very good cut shots, so I would imagine him to do well in countries like Australia and South Africa rather than England. But because we have seen him struggle against the left arm ball coming and even the right arm ball taking away, and he has struggled against them. But surprisingly, he has scored a test 100 in England. So I to be honest, I'm very whenever I see Rohit's test record, I get shocked. So I don't want to comment.
I think it was time to move on from Rohit Sharma. But I feel especially with the new cycle starting, I think it's a new start for India, a fresh start. And Sai Sudarshan could be the future. And what a way to start a series.
Virat Kohli, I guess his form was dipping from the last few series, even against New Zealand, even against Australia, he got 100. But in my opinion, I think that was I didn't value that 100 that much, because it came after India had a lead of 300 plus, and I thought India would have won that test anyway, even if Virat got out early. So I wouldn't put that 100 as his best 100. Because he has played better innings than that. Again, Virat Kohli, he was struggling, but I would have expected him to play this England series, because in this series, what India is lacking is middle order experience, and Virat's experience would have come in handy. So again, I would have expected him to retire soon, but I would have expected him to play this series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think enough on the Virat. It's time for us to move on. And I think these players have been knocking on the doors for quite a while now, and the door had to be smashed open now. That's pretty much it on this issue. But yes, let's do a fun activity. We'll try to build up a squad for India, and then we can move on to England, do the same thing, and then we can go on to the next segment. So I think we all agree Sai Sudarshan and Jaiswal should be opening. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
So coming in on 3, 4, 5, let's say. So what do you think should be 3, 4, 5?
I think so. When Kohli and Rohit were around, Gill very openly said that he wanted to bat at 3. But now there's been a little bit of speculation that he wants to move down to number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not see him anywhere except 3 or maybe open.
I agree.
I think
Number 4 should be KL.
I think on the contrary, I think Gill should bat at number 4.
Who should be number 3?
I think KL should be number 3, because
No, I feel
because in England, I think you need 3 openers, 1, 2, 3, and Gill, even if you see his past record in England, he struggled in the World Test Championship finals, the first one and the second one.
Yeah.
So and now that he's captain, he will have more responsibility, so he could replace Virat.
Gill should come at number 4 for this series only, or even after
No, I
this
think
series?
Let's take it to let's take this to discussion to this series.
Yeah, I feel like the best batsman of your team should come at number 4. Ironically, the best batsman is Rishabh Pant for the squad.
In the statistics. In the statistics, it's actually Rishabh Pant.
Rishabh Pant.
I honestly think Rishabh Pant will not be a good choice for number 3 or 4 because it's he does not have that temperament, and you need to use your players according to their strengths, right? Not their weaknesses. KL Rahul, being a versatile player, can play from anywhere between 1 to 5. Anywhere you can fit that guy. So, in my personal opinion, KL Rahul should be number 4. Gill should be number 3. The reason why I say this is because even if you lose two quicks, let's say in the first 15 overs, for example, which is what's been happening for the last I don't know how many years. Considering the fact that the average scores at these grounds, all 5 grounds by the way, is closer to 240. I'm talking first innings here, okay? 260 to 290 is what the average first inning scores is. So to get that score running along, sometimes the ball needs to get a little old for you to start scoring, right? This is what the harsh reality is. So a player like KL Rahul is what is going to be the anchor that Virat Kohli role, right?
Yeah.
Pujara used to come at number 3, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
and then Kohli used to come at number 4 and used to play that role. So to use KL Rahul at his strength, coming to my point pehle wala, ki you need to use your players like that in a series that important when you don't have a lot of experience. I think he should be number 4, but I think all of us can agree that 3 and 4 should be Gill and Kohli. Oh, sorry, not Kohli. Gill and KL. Depending on
My only thing is that I think Gill hasn't been successful in dealing with the new ball in center countries.
Sure.
That's why I would want to push him to number 4 so that he can, get a better chance to deal with the older ball.
Maybe they can experiment.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be the same for the first all 5 matches.
Yeah.
Maybe they try Gill and KL, see how it works out. If they're scoring well, maybe stick to the same thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe switch around. So
Yeah, I have a question regarding this. Do you remember where KL and Pant batted in that test in Bengaluru against New Zealand? They were like 5 and 6.
Bro,
They were 5.
No,
But
KL
what I'm trying to
and
suggest is that they were 5 and 6, and I think they're probably going to stick to that. This is.
So you're saying KL should be 5?
But do you remember how much KL scored in that match? He didn't score much.
Yeah, and
But-
it was
but-
so tough.
No,
Yeah.
but
Back to Bengaluru, his ground.
no, but I think they will stick to that.
So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying Rishabh Pant should be number 3?
No, I think Karun Nair is coming in. I think we missed him out completely.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So where does Karun Nair bat in general? In first class cricket? If
I mean,
anyone
when he came in the side in 2017, he took Rahane's place, which was number 5.
that's like
But
8 years ago, man.
but he bats around the same position.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, he can-
So, assuming that Karun Nair is going to be in the squad, I think he should be. He's earned it. I think the only player in that entire 15-16 member squad as of right now, except for Bumrah, maybe Karun Nair is the only one who actually really deserves it. More than anyone else, I think.
Yeah.
So, you were saying Karun Nair number 4?
No, I'm saying Karun Nair number 3, Gill number 4, and then number 5 is KL. and
See,
6
now
is
I have a point to make.
No, this is not my opinion. I just feel that they will go with this.
No, that is your
Yeah,
opinion.
that-
then.
No,
That
when-
they will go
what
with
is your
this.
opinion?
No,
Yeah.
my opinion would be ideally I'd want KL to bat at number
What do
3.
you think is going to happen? Let's
What
do
do I
that.
think is going to happen? I think KL will bat down the order.
Down the order, like number 5.
Number 5 or number 6 interchangeable between Pant and KL.
But assuming you are
Pant won't change his position. He'll be around number 5, number 6.
but assuming you are the selector, what would you have?
Yeah.
Oh,
Simple.
I would keep KL at number 5, number 6. I think he's done well in ODI. And
Okay,
I
so
think,
tell me who
yeah.
should be number 3 and 4.
number 4 would be Gill and number 3 would be Karun Nair.
Okay, so you're saying. Okay, so now I have a question. Your top 3 players have, let's say, close to 0 experience playing in England.
Yeah.
Isn't that exposing the team?
Yeah, I mean the only guys who've done well in England are KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant.
So then maybe you want to put
Yeah.
one of them there, right?
I mean,
But that would be a
not
master stroke.
really.
They might play the old ball if you go with the first.
I mean, that's
Is
the
this-
thing,
is
right?
that
Like
your
you
plan,
say,
like,
KL
you
has
want
a
them
lot
to
of.
play the old ball?
No, I mean, look, if you're a good player, you'll play well with the new ball anywhere in the world. Like even if you're making the.
But still, you have to strategize, right? Like, see, what I think
Look,
is.
KL Rahul would have battened down the order in the Australia series as well. Had Rohit Sharma. Yeah.
Forget about
No, I'm just saying they're going to stick
If
with
you
that.
say Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli once again.
No, I'm just saying Rohit Sharma was injured, so
Okay.
that was the plan to keep him there, so they won't move him.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is कि you have to agree to the fact that both the sides, especially India, has like close to none experience when it comes to playing overseas, especially in England.
The batting wise.
Right? Joe Root has played more test matches than all of that squad. I believe so.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
very close
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
So if Karun Nair is in the squad, which I believe he should be, he can come at number 4 and it would not really do India harm.
Yeah.
So, saying Sudarshan and Jaiswal open, Gill or Karun Nair
so if-
number 3,
Yeah.
Shubman Gill number 4, KL Rahul number 5. How does that sound?
I think
You're
that's what
putting
he said.
KL Rahul at the same place as
No,
I did.
I'm agreeing to you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But what I'm saying is ki
No, it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Like, I would personally replace KL with Karun Nair, so KL would be 3 for me and Karun Nair would be 5.
No, look, the thing is obviously like
Karun Nair
experience.
will be
Look, you see experience as an issue, right? But experience is going to be an issue with this squad.
But
you have to deal with it.
I kind of actually like his one better.
Because
He-
KL has like played with the new ball in England before. Like, he
Yes.
opened with Rohit Sharma in the previous series in England in 2021.
Yeah, no, like he's done well as an opener, but
You have to understand that the most senior batter right now is KL Rahul.
Yeah.
more or less, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
put KL on number 4 for me. Gill should be
Yeah.
on number
Yeah, so
three.
Yeah,
Three,
I
four.
agree with
Yeah.
this. Okay, so I actually changed mine. I think Karun Nair is okay with number 5.
Mm.
So majority saying, I know you're not in complete agreement right now, but 3, 4, 5.
I think he's thinking too much from their perspective.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
No, that and also I just feel like they got comfortable with the idea of Karun Nair batting in the middle, like middle order, not like upper middle order.
When you say
India, like in general,
Sure.
because you know in ODIs as well that's a trick that worked. Obviously these are different formats, but which is why they tried to, when they brought KL back into the side in the home series, they put him there. He didn't get a lot of runs, but he was slated to bat there for a while. But then things happened, and then he was moved up the order. So he's that flexible kind of player. Maybe this time around they're like, okay, senior players are gone, so like this guy doesn't have to do a lot of moving around anymore, and maybe they'll give him a permanent spot of the order. That could happen. But I feel like he presents himself like a wall down the order.
Sure. So
Yeah.
I think it's a very safe assumption given the fact that experience बहुत कम है. The BCCI is going to try and experiment a little bit based on what the situation is. So KL Rahul and Karun Nair are the two players in the squad that can bat anywhere from 1 to 5, right? So these will be the players that will be roaming in that 3 to 5 wala.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to
Yeah,
the
we've
middle order.
spoken a lot about
That's
this.
okay. Let's move on to the middle order. We don't have to agree on everything.
Yeah.
Right? So let's move on to the middle order. I think we have number 6, 7, 8. Let's say. I think आजकल 8 batsmen होते ही होते हैं हर team में. So Rishabh Pant would be a natural number 6 choice, I think. So he provides you that कि अगर if you lose like 4 wickets on the trot, आपके 100 रन से कम में हो गए या फिर 120 ऐसे कुछ पे हो गया. I think Rishabh Pant provides you that scoring opportunity.
Yeah.
If his luck goes with him, then he can score big, real big.
Yeah.
I think Rishabh Pant is like the main guy for India, in my opinion, because like he is the only guy that encountered that Baswell. I think like that's an important question because like England is gonna go guns blazing, and I think in India Rishabh Pant is the only guy who can match that energy, and so I feel like Rishabh Pant is gonna be the big player.
I have a question for you. Does England even have the guns to go guns blazing? We will come to the England bowling squad, but let's agree on one thing that this is probably the weakest England bowling lineup I've seen in probably a decade.
But yeah, I think I agree with you on that. But I feel like England is still gonna go hard with the bat because even
That's their strength.
yeah, and I think they should stick to their strength because what we saw in the past, like the reason they shifted to baseball was that they used to come and like block and get out.
Yeah.
But with baseball, even if they get out, they at least have some runs on the board. Like, and
Yes.
we know in England, even like 200 is a good score
Yeah.
because that could put the like if the opposition loses early wickets, they're also gonna get under pressure. So I think like with the batting, I think England would follow the same approach.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll come back to the England discussion and maybe combine it with the Indian bowling.
Yeah.
Number 6 we've done Rishabh Pant unanimously.
Yeah.
Number 7, 8, 9. So
Do you think Nitish Kumar will really fit in there? He should,
I
right?
think he should. Like he
Yeah.
did. I think he deserves a chance, barring whatever happened in the IPL. मैं IPL को कुछ भी नहीं मान के चल रहा. I've forgotten IPL altogether.
Yeah.
So Nitish Kumar Reddy definitely deserves a chance. Let's say he is in that number 7 spot.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 8.
I would go for Jadeja for number 7 in my opinion.
Sorry.
Jadeja?
Jadeja.
Jadeja. Oh,
Oh
yeah,
he's
yeah,
also
yeah,
the
he's also
squad.
there,
I
yeah.
completely forgot.
He is the senior
But I
most
think
player in the
that would-
squad.
that
No,
would-
I'm at the back.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying he like come to think about it.
Jadeja's inclusion would depend on if India wants to go with like
With the spinner option or not.
option.
But actually, एक spinner तो चाहिए
Yeah,
होता
yeah,
है.
You need one spinner.
Like you need a spinner. You can't have like 6 fast bowlers.
No, that's
bowling
the
all
thing.
throughout
So
the
you
day.
come to think about it, in the last 6 test matches that India has played in England, including the 5 from the India-England season 2021 plus the WTC of 2023, Jadeja played all 5 of them, all 6 of them. Ashwin wasn't included in any of them.
Yeah.
So Jadeja, I think right now like is an automatic selection.
Because like apart from Jadeja, you only have Kuldeep Yadav as a spinner.
Yeah, so Jadeja is an
No,
automatic
you have
selection.
Washington. He's a decent batter.
No, but I feel like Jadeja has batted well.
Okay, let's say number 7.
He got
Jadeja.
100 in the last
I
series.
know. Again, no questions on Jadeja whatsoever, and I think he will be a part of the squad at least for the first 3 matches.
Yeah.
Depending on what's going on with Bumrah, they'll try to see if they want an additional pace option or like a 2 spinner option as well. I don't know. They may go crazy, man. So
No, I just hope that Nitish Kumar Reddy sort of like comes handy as well.
I think he's a part of that squad. But
Yeah.
do you think there could be a debate with Nitish Kumar Reddy versus Washington Sundar?
Is Shardul Thakur part of the squad?
Yes.
Oh, that could be a debate as well because he saved 2 test matches in that series in 2021.
He's had good runs in England. Like,
Yeah.
he's been a good player. But
Because I remember there was a test match, I think it was Oval 4 test or something. We were like 150 for 7, or maybe I'm getting this wrong, okay? But he came and scored a quick 50, and from there on sort of gave that platform to Bumrah.
Even the Gaba test, like
Gaba as well, yeah.
do you think there is a scenario where Nitish Kumar Reddy and Shardul Thakur can both be part of the squad, or is it just like either or?
Like the kind of coach Gambhir is, right? He sort of likes these kind of players. So I think he would try to. No, I mean it's impossible. I won't say it's impossible. It's very hard to get both of them together in a competition.
Sure. Okay.
But in an ideal world, if both of them can bat the way like they've shown that they can bat, the glimpses that they've shown, like they both should be part of the squad.
I don't think they both fit.
Yeah. I mean,
It will
because you
depend
need
on
one
the
spinner,
situation.
yeah, you need one
Nitish Kumar
spinner.
Reddy and Washington Sundar.
You need one
Honestly, when you have, so we have to remember we need to have like 3 prime bowlers, and that starts at 10, 11, 12, right? So number 7 Jadeja, number 8 let's say Nitish Kumar Reddy or Washington Sundar, depending on whatever the situation is. Now comes number 9, 10, 11, 12.
Before that, can I just make an interesting note? You can disagree on this. So Hardik Pandya was very handy in like the 2018 series, right? Nitish Kumar Reddy bats a bit like Hardik Pandya. Shardul Thakur bowls a bit like Hardik Pandya. Like just imagine, like you've got 2 players in one, but that
Again,
yeah.
that's 2 players in one.
Yeah, speculation.
So okay, so now we have number 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's assume
9, 10 minutes.
So 8 we have done Nitish Kumar Reddy
Yeah.
or Washington Sundar. I think they'll only play 1 spinner. It doesn't really make sense to play 2 spinners in England. But let's assume it's Nitish Kumar Reddy for now. If he's playing, then you have Bumrah who has that coveted spot. Then you're left with only 3 players. So now you have options between Ashleep, Siraj, and Shardul Thakur, and who else? Kuldeep Yadav, another spinner, Harshit Ram.
I think like
Harshit Ram is a spinner?
No.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
saying-
I think,
Sorry, I'm not
like I think I would like to follow a more unconventional approach. Like I think I would probably leave Jadeja out. It would be Nitish Kumar Reddy for me at number 7. Number 8 would be Shardul Thakur. Then I would have Bumrah, Siraj, Kuldeep Yadav, and probably I think I still have one more bowler left, right? Or like 7, 8, 9.
It's 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, so Thakur, Nitish Kumar Reddy could bowl a bit. Bumrah and Siraj would be my 4 bowlers, like fast bowlers, and I'll have Kuldeep as like the main spinner of the team. Because,
So you're saying Jadeja out and Kuldeep in?
yeah, because I'm replacing Jadeja with like 2.
I don't think we'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because that stability Jadeja provides in that area, I don't think any other player can. At least they'll try out with him and then see how it goes. But if Jadeja is playing, I don't think there is a. Maybe they go bold and put in Kuldeep Yadav as a bowler option. I personally think that he's a wrist spinner, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't
Chan-
work in
yeah.
England. Does it?
I think they made him play the Lord's Test in 2018 and he was horrible. But the sample size is too little.
Yeah.
But like he didn't do too well.
That
I
would be
would
a-
pick Washington over Kuldeep Yadav any day.
Yeah.
Because he gives you that batting depth, man, and you need that against England.
No, for me, I think Kuldeep is a better wicket taker, and if like I think England is gonna go hard, so I don't know, like it could be like a dumb move or it could be a strong.
I feel like
could go either way.
I feel like usually they use Jadeja for like day 4 or day 5 when there's probably a rough patch or bad patch to exploit that.
But would India versus England test match last that long?
I really don't think
It could because of how flat the pitches are. It could last that
it's
long.
not that flat, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one more thing. I read this interesting stat.
All the
that-
Ashes test matches lasted very long, so I don't
They
know.
did, but I read this interesting stat that the second inning scores on all the grounds were higher than the first inning scores.
Yeah.
So basically the pitch progressively gets better. So you have a chance कि आप एक दिन में एक टीम की बैटिंग पूरी खत्म ही कर सकते हो. And then I don't think any match is gonna go till 5 days, maybe one. Max is gonna be 4 days, and the pitch gets progressively better for batting throughout all the 5 innings.
Yeah.
So you want batting depth in that scenario, right? And okay, we need to move on to England as well because we've been stuck here for a while. So let's say Jadeja does that number 7 thing, then we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 4.
Yeah.
So Bumrah, Siraj, I think both of them have to play. Then you have 2 more spots left.
Did they not pick Akashdeep?
No.
No, Karthik is
Wait.
there. He's there.
Yes, he is. I mean, I felt like he bowled incredibly well with the pink ball.
Yeah, Prasidh Krishna as well, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I think he deserves a chance, and I think he'll be in the squad over. Again, I think that will happen. He will be over Arshdeep.
Oh, Arshdeep is in the squad.
Yes, it's too crowded.
Yes.
Like ऊपर India का set है, नीचे is
Well,
very.
they need like a left arm pacer in England. I think Arjit could be easily.
He's
No,
not- he's
Arshdeep
not well
could
in the
swing the
county
ball
market.
this much.
And he has county experience.
Yeah.
But again, Prasidh Krishna is coming from amazing form. Would you want to sit that guy out? Maybe you should sit Siraj out. Honestly,
You know,
are you
in
talking
my-
about his IPL form?
No, I'm talking about his form in general, bro. BGT का एक last test match खेला
Yeah.
था,
So
उससे
about
Sentiment was
that,
amazing.
about that, like,
Yeah.
so the thing is, like, Prasidh Krishna was given a chance in South Africa in the first test that India
It's
lost.
been a while, bro.
Yeah. So I'm getting to it, right?
Yeah.
The first test that India lost, he wavered off a little bit with his line and length.
Sure.
And I think Aiden Markram and Dean Elgar sort of, had a go at him. This was a while ago.
Yeah.
And then in that BGT test where Bumrah got injured,
Yeah.
Prasidh Krishna and Siraj started. They didn't start too well. Prasidh Krishna eventually caught up, got 3 wickets. So definitely he did show glimpses, but he's only shown glimpses so far in his international career.
Sure. Again, I understand. Okay.
So I won't be surprised if they give chance to
How
us.
about this? The 2 test matches that Bumrah doesn't play, because his video just came out and he said that he's probably going to be playing 3 test matches. The 2 he doesn't play. How about you put Siraj out, him out, okay? The test matches he is playing, Bumrah, Prasidh Krishna, what is this guy's name?
Akashdeep.
No, I would pick
Nitish Rana?
Nitish, no, not Nitish Rana, it's Harshad Rana.
Harshad.
I don't
Sorry,
want him in the
sorry.
squad, man. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. Arshdeep, 3 pacers, premium pacers, and then that 1 spot maybe goes to Shardul Thakur.
Yeah.
That is 4 pacers, 1 spinner in Jadeja. That is 5 bowlers, and then who else is the bowler in the squad? Okay, how many bowlers would you want to have in the squad, in the Indian squad?
I think my other thing is one more thing. I think we talk about workload management for Bumrah because he is prone to injury, but we keep forgetting that even Siraj has done a lot. Like in Australia, he probably bowled so many overs.
But again, there was no contribution though. He was bowling like a bowling machine. I love Siraj, but his BGT was actually awful, man.
No, that's my
Like,
point.
if Prasidh Krishna would have been there instead of Siraj after the 3rd test match, I really think the results could have been a little better.
But do you
than
think
what
his
they were.
BGT was awful because he bowled excessively? That could be one of the reasons,
No,
right?
I don't think so. That.
No, man, like you have to. Like you are the premium fast bowler with.
But if you're playing all the test matches, you're playing like every format. Like at
Okay,
that
so
time,
then what were his stats in the first 3 then?
no, I'm just saying that even I think Siraj would need a break in this 5-match series. Like I
Yes,
would not
so
play him
maybe
like all the 5
maybe
matches.
play him when Bumrah is not there.
I think like in
Yeah, that
you
would be
can't
the-
be sure of like the break thing because like maybe the weather conditions, some test matches they don't get
Yeah,
repeated or
yeah.
something.
You know,
So
but
it
the
depends
thing-
how the series goes on.
Yeah.
No, the thing about I don't know if you guys have noticed this thing about tours in England. Usually after the 3rd test, there is a period of like 10 days where like there's no game, not even a scheduled first class game or anything like that. So they do get enough of a break in the middle, I believe, right? So yeah, I think like he can play all 5 test matches. He's not injury prone like Bumrah. Obviously, like if you want to set him out, obviously you can. But I don't think fatigue would be an issue. He did have a lot of international commitments either during the year because he was a pick for Champions Trophy. So it's not like fatigue is going to be a big issue after the IPL. I think IPL's also been done for about a month now for him at least. So yeah.
I'll tell you what. Since Harshit Rana has been given that call back from India A, even though controversially speaking, I really don't think he did awful in the India A versus England 9s. Since he's been given the call back, 100% he's going to play at least 2 test matches. 100%.
Oh, so he's in the squad for this series?
He's been asked to stay.
He's been asked to stay, but not added to the squad yet, I think.
Again, if he's been asked to stay, maybe they are trying to find a replacement for Bumrah when he's gone.
Yeah. Maybe.
So you have to factor in that. Okay, so I think it's a good time for us to move along. Because we've been stuck on India for quite some time. So all of us can agree that maximum 2 spinners play, depending on the condition, or it could just be 1 spinner and like 4 pacers.
I would rather go with 1 spinner.
Yeah, me too, because it's just too crowded. And I think it's a good time for us to go to England now. It's been a heavy discussion on India, as it always will be. So let's look at the England squad and build their team quickly.
I have a question about the English players.
Sure.
One player in particular. How many test hundreds is Joe Root on? Is it 35 or 36?
No, bro, he has like 30.
36. I think it's 36. Is he the highest among the Fab 4 right now? Or is it Steve Smith?
Yeah.
Steve Smith
He's
the highest.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
he's either the highest or he is equal with Steve Smith, I guess.
yeah, I think so. Like before we start the discussion about England, I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I think he'll reach 40 centuries by the end of
4 centuries?
That is too much.
He got 3.
That is
He got 3. He got 3 in 2021, right? And the way he's been scoring,
I think he'll score 2 centuries in the series maximum.
no, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
It's a bold prediction.
because he's probably like along with Steve Smith, obviously, probably the only 2 batsmen who've been able to tackle Bumrah well in the past whatever years. So yeah, I mean that's a very bold prediction, but I feel like given the inexperience that the Indian side has, despite the bowling sort of looking good, if they come up with flat pitches, I think Joe Root is going all out. My predictions have gone wrong, but like this is a very optimistic prediction. I want him to get to that.
But I think
century.
England, like pitches matter to an extent. Like once it gets cloudy, even if it's a flat pitch,
exactly. That England okay, so the
Hmm.
expectation straight would be that the pitches are going to be batting friendly because that's what England's strength, and that's fair, right? But England the weather plays a role.
Yeah, no,
The
I
wind plays a role.
agree with you, but it seems like if there's one guy who's managed to crack that code, because England is his home team, right? At the end of the day, and he scored so many centuries at home. So if there's one guy,
So this guy is saying he's going to score 4 centuries, which is
I'm being optimistic.
40%, by the way, of all the 10 battings he's going to do in the 5 test matches. I think it's going to be 2 or even less.
yeah.
Really?
I think Harry Brook is going to be the best batsman.
Really?
Yeah, I think Harry Brook. I think Harry Brook might score 4 centuries.
That's a wilder prediction than I made.
Yeah, that's actually true. But yeah, I don't think so, man. I think Harry Brook is a good player, but when you have Bumrah, when you have if Arshdeep plays, Prashant Krishna, they have more experience than him. So maybe I don't think Harry.
But you need to remember that Harry Brook comes at number 5. Once like Bumrah and all,
That's
will probably be out of track by then. He might come in. Obviously.
That's why I have Prashant Krishna. Man. I'm telling you, if he plays, he's going to be the X Factor player.
Harry Brook, I think in one of the IPL games after he scored 100, he came into the presentation ceremony and he was like, "Yeah, it was time to shut up some of the Indian fans." Yeah.
And after that, I don't think he had
did nothing.
IPL.
He did nothing after that.
So coming to the England squad, who do you think is going to be like? It's a very interesting squad. I think it's a 14-man
before we
squad.
start, do Broad and Anderson also deserve a monologue for Perry?
No, no man. I think they've had coveted test careers better than Rohit Sharma. But yeah.
No, but the thing is with the series, like the absence of Anderson is a far greater. Like we have to talk about Anderson anyway. Yeah, it's far greater than the absence of Kohli and Rohit, because
Of course.
for this series.
No, bro, anytime. Like
Yeah.
Anderson at 40, I saw his T20 vitality. He's taking wickets, man.
You know what he said recently. He's like
I'm available if
Yeah.
wants. Yeah, he
Yeah.
hinted that.
yeah.
He was also forced to retire.
So,
He was actually forced. He was actually forced to retire.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, he got a call from the ECB top officials. They were like, the three of us want to see you at a hotel or something. That sounds very wrong, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's a
then
good-looking man. So.
Yeah. And then he sort of realized what was gonna happen, and they told him that the Ashes is in like November, and like we don't see you making it to the Ashes. So we wanna like build a team to the Ashes, and we don't think you're gonna make it to that. So it sort of came as a shocker, which is why he's continuing to play. He's fit as ever, and yeah.
Okay, I think out of the England batsmen, I think we missed one name, and he has been a kryptonite on Indian bowling. He is Oli Pope. Bro, I don't know if you remember, but
196.
it's crazy.
But that is in India, that's the thing.
I understand, but again, bowling same as. So I really think Oli Pope is going to be the player to look out for rather than Harry Brook or even Joe Root.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
I think Duckett is going to be a better batsman than Oli Pope in this series.
Okay, so we basically are all in an agreement that England has.
Is Zach Crowley in the squad?
He is.
Yes.
Zach Crowley, I'm sorry, man. He doesn't even deserve. To
No,
be there.
I was gonna make a joke about it.
Yeah,
It's
please
not
do,
like
please do.
no, like so I follow the Barmy Army page on Facebook,
Sure.
right? And Facebook is where you find all the old people, right? So
Yeah.
like I was looking through the comments.
Okay.
Yeah. I was looking through the comments, and there was not a single Indian on there. So like all the comments were like from the white
Of
people
course.
who are watching. Everybody hates that guy. Everybody, every
He
single one.
is Mitch Marsh. Like,
You know this-
in Australia, he's the most hated player for some
Oh, I didn't know
reason.
that.
Yeah, he's actually come out on press and said this that he smashed 100 in the Ashes series in England, and he was like, I was a day before this, I was the most hated player in the country. Apparently, people hate Mitch Marsh, and the similar thing is with
Not
Zach
just
Crowley.
hated player, he said hated person in the country. Yeah. That's how bad it is.
Is it
for
because
him.
he took the T20 captaincy from Cummins?
No, I think historically it's because, like, you know how, like, we see Stuart Binney, like, he's like a meme kind of like, player. Like,
I
this
think
is
some
like
people
that,
you just
yeah.
can't describe why you
Yeah,
hate them.
yeah.
You just do, and it's just like wildfire.
Yeah.
But anyway, coming to England.
Coming to finishing on
Yes.
Zach Crowley, yeah.
Yes.
So I saw a comment by this old person who said that BCC has got like got Kohli and Rohit to force Kohli and Rohit out of the way. Get Jayashah to force Zach Crowley also out of the way. So that's
Why,
how
bro?
they
Like,
just
he
hate
should
that
be in
guy.
the squad if he's bad.
They
But-
just hate that guy over there, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think he has spoken the least out of all of us. So I would want to hear your opinions on what the England squad should look like. Like, let's say the first 4 batsmen.
Okay, so for me, like Zach Crowley and Whittaker are gonna open,
Okay.
and I think it's gonna be Oli Pope, one down, and then I think it's gonna be Root,
So the usual 4.
the usual 4.
The usual 4. I think I kind of agree with him. They're not going to experiment too much. I think they are very set in their way.
Yeah.
More set than in India in batting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they know what
100%,
role
yeah.
they know what role each player is playing. The baseball thing
Yeah.
obviously like plays to their
Every player is playing
advantage.
the same role in baseball.
Yeah, I guess.
Except Joe Root. I think Joe Root's batting the way he used to, yeah.
No,
No, no, no,
I'll tell you one thing. I was reading this stat that after baseball, even though it's been bashed a lot, that is it even a good strategy? They haven't won shit, and
Yeah.
like at least in terms of championships. So they showed that all the top 6 batsmen, their average has gone up significantly. Joe Root was at like 49 or something, and after baseball, his average is.
No, but the thing is,
This is similar for every batsman. my
yeah,
friend.
no, I agree with what you're saying, but I think Joe Root's been batting that way since after COVID. Like
So I mean, that's when baseball came.
no, baseball came. No, baseball came in 2022.
And that's when COVID ended.
No,
No, I think
Joe Root has been batting this way since the beginning of 2021.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Similar.
that's about 800s, I feel. He got
Okay.
200s. I think he got one, not 800. Maybe I overstated things. 600s at least.
Sure.
Actually, yeah. There are 100 in home series in India, 300s in the series in England, and then a few more along the way.
I think he, to be honest, I think Joe Root started betting aggressively after Glasgow only, because I remember when England went to West Indies, Joe Root like he didn't bat that aggressively. He scored runs. He scored 100 there as well. Like he scored some runs there. But I'm not exactly sure if he scored 100, but he scored runs there. But he batted the usual way. Like after Basball, even now we see him playing in the paddle scoops and all those shots. Like before that, I didn't see him play those shots in Test matches.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, that's also very funny because if you remember the home series that happened very recently, he tried to scoop one and he hit one straight to one of the players. I forgot who it was. Like one of the players in the slips. So yeah, and I remember the English press going fully wild on that because they were like, one moment before he was like the greatest player, next moment he's thrown away a series within India. That session it changed the entire series. I feel.
Okay, so I think we all agree on the top 4 that
Yeah.
he mentioned. So let's do 5, 6, 7 quickly. Who do you think would be fitting in at 5, 6, 7 spot?
It's gonna be, I think, Brook. Then I think it's gonna be Stokes. And then the 7th one, I think
Wait,
that's.
not Jamie Smith?
I wouldn't go with Jamie Smith. I feel
Then
like
who's the wicket keeper?
I think only Pope can beat him.
Really?
Yeah, he was the wicket keeper in the last series.
Oh, I did not know that.
Which series was that?
The last season in
Zimbabwe.
Let me just check.
Oh yeah, he actually can wicket keep. He's right.
But I think
So-
I would personally go with Jamie Smith because I think he's probably one of the most talented England batters right now. I personally
He's
think
the
that-
youngest as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually it's Jacob Bethel. But anyway, okay.
Is Bairstow not in the squad?
Oh,
I'm
no.
completely.
He's been ousted all of a sudden. I don't
Yeah.
know what happened, but Bairstow is just not there anymore. Like
Because-
he played a few matches last IPL.
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't know what's
and
happening.
he scored a match-winning 100 against India last time.
Oh yeah, that's exactly
crazy,
why.
yeah.
That's exactly why
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Oh, remember that Bairstow run out in the Ashes? Sorry. That's too funny.
I think talking about Ashes, Graham Stone has predicted that this India series is just a warm-up for Ashes for England. They're going to win it 4-1.
In Australia,
No. They're saying 4-1.
So Graham Stone has predicted that this England.
this will be 4-1 in
Yeah.
favor of England.
Yeah, and this is a warm-up series for England.
Okay, we'll come to predictions. We'll come to predictions. Hold on that thought. 5, 6, 7 quickly. He has said that Ollie Pope can wicket keep, so he doesn't see Jamie Smith in the squad. I do.
Yeah.
What about you? Quick. You have Ben Stokes. I'll tell you who
Yeah.
all are there. Harry Brook obviously will be 5. You have Jamie Smith. You have Ben Stokes, Jacob Bethel, Bryden Cars, Jamie Overton, Chris Wokes. These are the all-rounders, and there are a lot.
Obviously, Chris Wokes walks into the side. I think.
Sure.
He
So
should,
he'll
yeah.
be probably like number 8, I think.
Yeah.
So Ben Stokes is
obviously walks
there.
into
So
the
that's
side.
Number 6.
like
One player I would like to see there is Jacob Bethel.
Jacob Bethel?
I was about to say that, unpopular opinion, but I would rather replace Oli Pope with Jacob.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't Oli Pope known to be the replacement
Yeah.
for who was that guy with like crazy cover drives?
Oh, Ian Bell.
Ian Bell, yeah. What happened to that?
Damn, bro.
Mm.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't know much about Jacob Bethel, so I won't say much.
I mean, we've only seen him in like one game that he played for
How
us.
about Jamie
No, I think
Overton?
I saw Jacob Bethel when England played the Test series in New Zealand.
Oh,
And,
he's
he
played for a
looked-
while.
How about Jamie Overton? He
I
can
think-
bat, man.
Yeah, I think
He can bowl as well.
Yeah.
He's provided that option always.
So, what is he? A bowling all-rounder or
He's a batting
all
all-rounder.
Yeah.
Bowling all-rounder, I would say. So yeah,
He did a Champions Trophy.
I don't remember that. But anyway,
I think he did play or he got injured. I'm not exactly sure, but he was there.
yeah. Anyway, so let's finalize on the 5, 6, 7, 8 quickly.
Yeah.
We have Ben Stokes there. We have Chris Wokes there. So we
And
have 2
Brook-
more spots.
Broke 5, Ben Stokes 6,
Chris
7.
Wokes.
7 was
So for me, 7 would be Overton and then 8 would be Wokes.
okay.
Yeah, I actually want to side with him.
But 7 wasn't 7 Jamie Smith for us.
No, wasn't he? Okay, so we have Zach Crawley, Ben
Yeah.
Duckett, Joe Root, Ollie Pope for me at least.
Yeah.
Then you have Harry Brook, Stokes, Jamie Overton, Chris Wokes. That's 8. So there's no Jamie Smith in this thing.
I would keep Jamie Smith in the team because
So
I
who
think
do you
he's an
remove
extraordinary batsman as well.
So then who would you remove?
Anyone or are you gonna add James?
Oh, then
So you have to remember proper bowlers. England के पास सिर्फ
Yeah.
bowlers. That is Shoaib Bashir, Josh Tongue, and Sam Cook. Shoaib Bashir is the only spin option in this,
Yeah.
and they would want to play him, I suppose, or they could just go wild and be like, I mean, nahi चाहिए.
But knowing
because you have to remember, sorry to interject, Joe Root can bowl, and he actually can bowl well.
Yeah.
So,
But you also have to keep in mind, I think that England might go with a spinner just because it's the start of World Test Championship and slow bowler can also cost you points. So,
I don't
yeah.
think it matters to them. And they're gonna bat so fast. I don't think overrates is gonna matter in this one. But okay, so
That's a very interesting take. I've never heard that one before. You played express because of
He
the
bowled.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Anyway, so do we see Jamie Smith in the squad or no? If-
I personally see him.
Okay, so then that means 8 players are final. You only have 3 more.
Wait, so what bowler did we have till now?
Bowlers, we have Chris Stokes, Jamie Overton,
Yeah.
and Ben Stokes.
Ben Stokes, I think, yeah, he's like 50-50 right now. Like, I'm not exactly sure how much.
He has to bowl,
But I'm not exactly sure how much will he bowl because
I'm sure he'll
he's
bowl
suffered
very
from
less.
injuries as well and all.
No, I think he's recovered well. That's what he said.
I don't think
He has to bowl. Yeah.
Ben Stokes will, अगर bowl नहीं करता है, that is going to be the greatest loss for him. Because you need
He
that.
is probably the most experienced bowler. in that
Oh,
lineup,
yes. Chris
apart from
Stokes
Stokes,
and
yeah.
both
Chris
of
Stokes
them,
doesn't get to play a lot because of Anderson and Broad.
Yeah. Now he will,
Ben
but
Stokes
when
has
he's
a-
like 36 years old.
Yeah.
So
Skill-wise, obviously, Chris
Yeah.
Stokes probably superior. But
I think Ben Stokes will obviously bowl.
Yeah.
Not as much as like probably not like do 20 overs, but like maybe like a 12, 13, 15 over thing.
yeah.
But okay, now coming to the bowling, Sam Cook, Shoaib Bashir, Josh Tongue.
To be honest, I haven't seen Sam Cook and Josh King that much. So again,
None of us have.
so it's very confusing for me.
Again, they have so in the span of 23 and 25, they've only played 3 matches. Sorry, by they I mean Josh Tongue. Josh Tongue is a very new addition to the.
But that's also against Ireland and Zimbabwe, right?
Yeah.
Not Josh
So-
Tongue, it's Josh
so
Tongue.
again, like,
Shut up. Anyway, so basically, do we see Josh Tongue in there? He's a right arm fast medium option. Then you have Sam Cook. Sam Cook is 27
But
years old.
I think we are also forgetting Cars.
Riding cars.
Yeah, like he's
He's
also
a bowling all-rounder.
Where-
How many bowling all-rounders will you play though?
England, like, you know, like,
Yeah,
England, you know, like even in the World Cup that they won, they had all rounders. You know, like.
That's true. That's true. So if let's say for
That was
example,
the game squad anyway. Yeah.
so Bryden Cars is also a good option, I would say. 29 years old, not that old.
Yeah.
He actually has more experience than Josh Tongue and Sam Cook
Yeah.
combined.
So I think at maximum only one of Sam Cook and Josh King would play.
Okay, so either of Sam Cook and Josh Tongue.
Yeah.
Then do you think? Okay, so let's say Bryden Cars, and do you think then Shoaib Bashir? So now you have 2 spin options now.
No, I think knowing England, like, because I've seen them over the past few years and they have shown trust in Shoaib Bashir. Like,
That's true.
Like, he
That's
plays a lot of
actually
test
true.
matches, so I would assume that England would play.
Yeah, he's one of the youngest players in the squad, and he actually has played the most amount of test matches in terms of the bowlers, the inexperienced bowlers.
Right.
In the 24-25 span, he's played 16 matches. So
Shoaib Bashir?
yes, so he's 21 years old by the way, almost 22. So I think he fits in that squad.
Yeah.
At least for like 3 out of 5 test matches,
Also,
depending on
also
how
has a little
spin
bit
goes.
of a Pakistani heritage. Sorry.
No, that's okay. But okay, so do we agree on England's
I
bowling?
think remembering about Pakistan heritage, I miss Moeen Ali, bro, and his spells against India.
He was probably the best bowler after Broad. No, after Anderson and
Yeah.
those series.
I think with England, it's somehow that the main bowlers somehow are just there to bowl overs, and then all-rounders end up taking wickets.
Because I think Stokes is a very good wicket taker.
Yeah.
Like, even in the, I think, if you remember the Birmingham test,
Yeah,
he
Edge
came and picked
Bastion,
up,
Edge Bastion, yeah.
he came and picked up the wicket of Kohli, which was
Yeah.
very important at that time. So.
Okay, so I think we are all fixed on the England squad as well. We all can agree their strength is batting, India's strength is bowling.
Yeah.
We'll quickly pick up like maybe one player from each or 2 players from each, like a batter or a bowler,
Yeah.
who we think is a player to look out for, an X factor. Let's start with England since we're on them already. Probably, let's say who's going to be the best batter. That includes all rounders, by the way.
Oh, I would say Joe Root. My opinion is not much.
Mine is Harry Brook, as I said. Like,
Harry Brook, what about you?
It's a tough one, but me because
You said
I
Tim
think-
Duckett
yeah.
before.
because I'm confused between like 3 or 4 batters, but I think I'll go with Harry Brook as well.
You know what? I'll be the odd one out. I'm gonna say Ollie Pope if he's in the squad. So and how about India's batting? Who's gonna be the best batter?
Again.
Interesting take, right? Jaiswal.
Jaiswal, sure.
Yeah, I'm confused between Pant and Jaiswal, but I'll go with Jaiswal.
I think Jaiswal is going to be the best batter, but I think Pant is going to be more impactful. I think, like as I said, like I think Pant is the only one that can counter baseball in my opinion. I think he's going to get that opportunity in that match, and I think I think the match India wins, Pant is going to be the best player in those matches.
Yeah, I think KL Rahul. It's his time. Yeah.
3.0
Yeah.
as Kevin Peterson.
Yeah. So best bowler.
Best bowler. I think from India it's a no-brainer for me, Bumrah.
He's playing 3 though.
I think with my opinion would be across both teams it would be Bumrah despite the fact that he's playing.
So you're saying 3 test matches, he's gonna be the highest wicket taker.
Well, not the highest wicket taker, but more matches.
And like the most
I'm
impactful.
talking from
yeah.
like I'm talking like from India's perspective. I haven't like thought
That's
about
okay.
it.
That's okay. What about you?
Yeah, I think from India it's Bumrah for me.
I'm gonna say it's Prasidh Krishna if he plays.
I'm not exactly sure if he plays.
Again, as I'm saying, if whatever matches he plays, he's gonna have a big impact. Is what I want to say from this. Bumrah is a very no-brainer kind of a choice.
Yeah.
But I really think Prasidh Krishna that season of where he's putting himself in that the red ball spot, it's gonna be this time.
Yeah. I have a feeling that I think if Prasidh Krishna plays, Siraj is going to do better than Prasidh Krishna.
Oh.
Yeah, because even I think if you remember the last series, like when India toured England, Siraj did play well. Like, he won India the
It
last
was a
test.
while back though, bro.
So
Prasidh Krishna is on a high horse right now.
No, but
anyway.
like, to be honest, like I don't count the IPL form that much because even Hazelwood was amazing in IPL, but didn't do much in the Test Championship final. So
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think that was just one off bad day for Hazelwood. I think
Yeah.
in his entire Test career, that probably was probably the worst day he had. Yeah.
Okay, so quickly, one player to look out for, or like an X factor player or an emerging player, let's say, from both the sports.
Someone who can surprise you.
Yeah, like someone that you are really looking forward to, or you can be like, like it's gonna be this guy's like a new player. Like there are a lot of new players in this series.
You mentioned new player, but I wanted to say Gill. I don't know, like he's
He's
not a
not
new
new.
player. He's not a new player. Before
He's
you
a captain
said
now.
no, before you mentioned new, I was gonna say it's probably his time because there's been a lot of hate and like a lot of memes that have been floating around.
So you're
Average
saying
is
it's
about
gonna be this
20%.
season, like he's
Yeah.
gonna have this breakthrough,
Yeah.
like how Kohli had that Adelaide tour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm rooting for him. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So what about you?
I think for me, I'm not exactly sure if they'll play, but if I think it's gonna be either Jacob Bethel or Jamie Smith.
Okay.
For me, it's going to be Sai Sudarshan. I think like he's going to open for India, so I think that it's a big chance for him, and I think this could be the series which
Yeah.
makes his career.
I was going to say Sai Sudarshan too, but for some reason I just want to root for Gill.
Yeah. I honestly think it will be Karan Raj.
But he's also not a new player. He's a triple
You know,
century against England.
Have you seen his interview recently?
With Ashwin?
With Ashwin, I think it was with Ashwin. Yeah. He spoke about how like he scored a 300, then he played the Australia series, and then he was out.
All of a sudden he was dropped.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Karun Nair is a new player altogether now because that old Karun Nair was a while back, man. And he's gone through a whole like disappearing and then giving him a chance again and then absolutely dominating in domestic circuit. But
And
it's going to
good
be Karun.
Is it going to be
Nice.
similar to Rohit 2.0 in Test?
I don't know Rohit's 1.0 whenever it came, but anyway, we're not going to discuss that. Okay, so let's quickly do the venues. What you think is going to be? I think we've already sort of touched based on, at least I have, in terms of what the average score is like. What do you think is going to be India's best venue and the worst venue if you have to pick? Because I think obviously England is gonna like naturally do India ka best over England ka worst.
When are we playing Lords?
So
Third test.
third test.
Test. Oh yeah. By that time, I feel this team will.
We haven't won in Lords in a while. By the way.
No, we
No,
won in
no,
2021.
Really?
Yeah.
Siraj won
That was the.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was the main
Yes.
test match.
Yes.
The main highlight of his captaincy.
Oh, I meant to say Lords में century नहीं आई Indian batting.
The last guy was Rahane.
Yeah,
2014.
yeah.
I think didn't KL Rahul score or like did he get close?
Wasn't it? I don't know if it was Lords or not, but it was a while
Lords.
back since an Indian
Oh,
back.
KL Rahul scored, I think. Yeah, he scored.
When?
Yeah,
I think
2021.
that match only.
Yeah, I think he scored 120.
Never mind. We're gonna cut.
Yeah, again, yeah.
No, we're not talking about it.
But anyway, so let's jump on this. The best venue for India, naturally the worst for England, and vice versa.
I think for me, yeah, I'll agree with Perry, Lords, because Lords is one ground where I think Asian teams have done well. Even Pakistan, they have won their last two matches in Lords, I guess.
What
So
about you?
England generally struggles at Lords against Asian teams, so I'll
Yeah, Lords was the first venue that came into my mind when I thought India could beat England.
Yeah.
And like the worst one, I feel like would be Oval for me. For India.
Oval has always been tricky, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and again, I'm just trying to be someone who wants to disagree with you guys on pretty much everything. It's gonna be Manchester. That's gonna be the best venue for India.
Oh, Manchester. I mean, sorry, I'll bring one from the vault. If you remember, Manchester was the test match in 2014 where India was 8 for 4
Yeah.
with Shikhar Dhawan,
Yeah.
Murli Vijay, Kohli, Pujara, all of them getting out back to back. They were
Yeah.
8 for 0, 8 for 1, 8 for 2,
Yeah.
8 for 3, 8 for 4. So yeah, I don't have a lot of hope. I don't have a lot of good memories with Manchester. So I'll disagree with you.
I'll also bring one from the vault. I think Lords was the venue where Ishant Sharma took 6 wickets in that series.
7 wickets. 7 wickets. That's all. He took 7 wickets.
Yeah.
to win the test match, so
Yeah.
Okay, so worst venue.
worst.
Manchester.
Sure.
I think for me, I'm not exactly sure how would the weather will play, but like Leeds is gonna be probably the worst venue for India because again, like, an inexperienced team playing the first match in England, that's the venue of the first match. And if I remember correctly, Ricky Ponting once said that Leeds is a ground where you look at the sky when deciding the toss, not the pitch. So if it's cloudy, I think it's gonna be probably a nightmare for India.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In that series in 2021, in one of the matches, we got all out for 70 odd runs. In the third test match, where was that? Do you remember?
I think that was Leeds only.
That was Leeds. I think that was probably
Yeah.
Leeds. Yeah. Not a great
What about you?
Yeah, I said Oval.
Yeah, he's already said it. I actually agree with him. I think Oval. Maybe Leeds again second choice, but Oval again last test match unfortunately. But to be fair, the last test match is when both the teams and this is gonna be neck to neck, at least what I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna matter much what ground it is in the last one because they're
Yeah.
gonna be like foot on the pedal kind of a situation.
Yeah.
That we don't care whatever ground this is. It's not gonna be a mental psyche.
Yeah.
So maybe Leeds. I don't want it to be Leeds. First or last नहीं होने चाहिए. India के लिए if they want to really win this,
Yeah.
maybe like a bad one comes in with like hell Lords for example or Manchester or what's the heading league Birmingham.
So I know Leeds.
Sorry,
Dustin is
Birmingham.
Birmingham. Yeah.
So maybe Birmingham could be the one where they might struggle. वो जैसे इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया का हुआ था कि like Perth सब कोई expect नहीं कर रहा था they won
Yeah.
and then the second one they fucking lost.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what about predictions? What do you guys think is gonna happen?
Yeah, just let me look at all the venues once.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It's Leeds, Birmingham, Lords, Manchester, and Oval.
For me, I think it's going to be a close series. I
Yeah.
think like it's going to be the first thing that comes to my mind is like a 2-2. I feel like.
So you're saying one draw?
Yeah, I feel like maybe a draw is like a washout or something. Like.
Okay, let's make this a little interesting. Let's assume there's no washout.
Okay.
Yeah, I think then I would go with 3 to England.
3 to England. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe while he's deciding.
Oh, I think it's 4-1.
4-1 England? Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
I think we'll win the-
Pessimists.
Yeah, I think we win. I tried to be optimistic in the BGT.
Yeah.
Didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to reverse jinx or anything. This is my gut feeling.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but there's a lot of inexperience in the squad. I feel like we could win one of the first 2 test matches. You know, jazz ball could happen. Not basketball, jazz ball. Jaiswal.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
Jaiswal-
sure.
Jaiswal could go all
I
out.
don't know
Jaiswal
that
and
exists.
Bumrah could come together and go all guns blazing.
Yeah.
Win one of the first 2 test matches, but India has a history of sort of, you know, their teams sort of falling apart in the as the season
Crumble,
progresses.
yeah.
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 Okay.
I think London is gonna favor India, so they're winning at Lords and Oval, but they're losing the rest. So 3-2 in favor of England.
So he said 3-2. He said 3-2. You said
4-1.
4-1. I'm gonna be again the differentiator. I think it's gonna be 3-2 India. 3-2. Yeah.
If India were to win, it has to be 3-2. Yeah,
I would want it to be 5-0, but that's a
yeah,
little too
I
much.
don't
What
know.
tests are India
4-1 or 5-0.
What tests are India winning?
Yeah.
Good question. I think they'll win the first one, even though it's a tricky ground. They may win the third, Lords, and the fourth, Manchester. So this is what my prediction is. But okay, let's assume that it is 2-2 and they're heading into Oval.
Yeah.
Would you still believe that it's gonna be 3-2? You two especially, because you said it's 3-2 England.
I think it depends on how the series is going. But I feel like
I mean, 2-2 is a draw.
No, from my prediction, like as I said that if India is winning in London, I predicted 3-1 for the first 4 tests and 3-2. So if it's 2-2, then India is winning 3-2.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I thought.
and I said O is gonna be the worst game for India, so that means
naturally 3-2 for England. So why are you so like? Were you this like pessimistic in BGT as well? No, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I remember you initially thought that Australia will win it 5-0.
I think so. I remember something
3-1,
like
and
that.
I think we were going to lose the Melbourne test as
Yeah,
well.
that was a save. So
Yeah, exactly. Like I wasn't way off with my prediction.
That's true. That's true. Anything else you boys wanna discuss? Maybe.
Yeah, let's talk about maybe before we wrap up. What maybe predictions about Shubman Gill's captaincy in this series and like leadership and batting. in general.
So
maybe a
future.
Yeah.
Future. Okay, so
This is something new. This is a
let's
transition,
make
yeah.
it. Let's not make it Shubman Gill. Let's make it what the future looks like for both the teams. The reason why I say this is both the teams are in that transition phase and they've actually stepped into that transition phase 1. Because isse pehle tak, all we were discussing is they're in transition. The old players are gonna go. What's gonna happen next? It is now happened. There is no player that is now lingering in either of these squads. I don't think there's any.
So my question is like, do you think these two teams will play the World Test Championship final?
No.
No.
I don't think England will play the World Test Championship final. Period.
Even if they win the series?
If they win the series, then it's a good platform.
So
But then
okay,
when Ashes
let's
comes
say they win this series. The World Test Championship, the way it's designed is home away. It's like some teams are not playing some teams.
Yeah.
I don't know what the schedule is like. I haven't had a look, so I don't know what advantage it plays to. But I always think that Australia and South Africa are gonna one up England, despite of however England plays. And you have to remember the next Ashes is in Australia.
Yeah.
Australia is not losing.
Yeah. I think this time Pakistan might reach the finals.
Whoa!
No,
Okay.
This
How
is
many
considering
matches Pakistan
that
has?
because Pakistan is not playing Australia in this cycle.
So Pakistan is a
Who are
World
they
League,
playing?
Australia,
So they're
India
playing
are the two best
England
teams.
and they're playing New Zealand and South Africa at home, I guess.
So they're not playing Australia at all.
Yeah.
How is this fair? Like this is so fucking
Obviously,
stupid.
the system. Yeah, I don't understand the. The
Yeah,
testing
like
that.
again, people were raising questions on South Africa beating like easy teams.
I think Pakistan is probably gonna follow the same path as South
Yes.
Africa.
Well, what are their away series looking
So
like?
Pakistan has Bangladesh, West Indies, and England away.
Bangladesh, West Indies, and England.
England has
Okay.
2 test matches.
Bangladesh they can
Yes.
win. West Indies, I'm not too sure. I think West Indies might actually.
Yeah, Pakistan struggles against West Indies.
Yes. So it could be like a 2-1 West Indies kind of thing.
Even Bangladesh they struggled. They lost that series in home series.
Oh yeah. No. So what basis are you saying they're gonna make the final?
The thing is, I think Pakistan is probably one of the teams that doesn't know how to take the home advantage.
You're not
But-
making a point, man.
But I think learning from their past mistakes since this time that they're facing relatively easier teams away.
On
and
paper,
difficult
Pakistan
teams
has
home.
the easiest route. if you
That's
will.
true.
Yeah.
No, that was true for the last WTC cycle.
Yeah,
But again, are you that confident that they will win their home series against New Zealand, South Africa, and Wales?
And Sri Lanka.
So for me, I think Pakistan just needs to win, one match in England. Like in their
देखो ये flashy team में रहते हैं.
one match against England in the series, and I think away I'm pretty confident that like whatever happens, I think Pakistan is gonna whitewash West Indies and Bangladesh.
Okay.
And then home, yeah, I'm not exactly sure how many will they win, but I think they have a very good chance of
I
winning.
think the new Pakistan, especially with the spinning tracks, I think they could do well this cycle.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you are also saying Pakistan is going to make the WTC final?
No, I don't think so. Pakistan's going to make the final. I think it's going to be probably Australia, and I believe New Zealand might do it.
Australia, New Zealand. Interesting. What about you? And then I'll tell mine.
Then India, Australia.
India, Australia. I think it's gonna be India, New Zealand.
India, New Zealand. So the repeat of the first
Yes.
cycle.
New Zealand is on a high horse, man. And again, 2 years is a long time.
Yeah.
2 सालों में कुछ भी हो सकता है. श्रीलंका भी ऐसी तैसी कर सकती है. Because if you remember, Sri Lanka was in contention
Yeah.
when that South Africa series was happening.
But Sri Lanka is currently facing Bangladesh, and Bangladesh has played really well.
Oh yeah,
They
I
scored 300
remember.
runs in the
हाँ
first
हाँ
game.
हाँ. Again, मैं सिर्फ ये कह रहा हूँ कि like 2 सालों में बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. But
Yeah.
currently, based on whatever my gut feeling says, it's gonna be India, New Zealand, or heck, India, South Africa.
But the thing
Oh, who
is,
is South Africa facing this cycle?
हाँ, that's interesting.
South Africa.
चैंपियंस की बात ही नहीं की. पाकिस्तान भी आ गया है, न्यूजीलैंड भी आ गया है.
So South Africa, they're facing Australia home, Bangladesh home, England home, then Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka away.
Oh,
Pakistan, Sri Lanka, India.
They could lose all 3 of them.
I think
They
South
could lose all 3
Africa
of
is
them.
not qualifying this.
Yeah, and the away games are tricky for
Yeah.
South Africa.
Away games are very tricky. Like I think they'll struggle.
Home series against Australia is also very
But
tricky.
India, they're gonna get whitewashed. Sri Lanka also, I think they might get
Are
whitewashed.
we that confident that we'll whitewash South
Yeah,
Africa?
I think.
न्यूजीलैंड ने बहुत मारा भाई हमारे को.
But New Zealand is also one of the teams that India struggles against. So,
Always. हाँ.
so-
शुरू से रहा है.
But South Africa is one of the teams.
Okay,
that
what's
team-
India's thing looking like?
So India is playing West Indies, South Africa and Australia at home, and then England, Sri Lanka, New Zealand away.
England, New Zealand.
England, sorry, say that again.
England, Sri Lanka and New Zealand away.
So England is that major chunk that's gonna go now.
And then Sri Lanka 2 matches away and New Zealand 2 matches away.
So now New Zealand is gonna be tricky.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, no questions, but New Zealand is gonna be tricky.
Yeah,
And what was the home?
And home is West Indies 2 matches, South Africa 2 matches, and Australia 5 matches.
Not that tricky though.
Yeah. Australia also, I think India might
West
just be one
Indies
of them.
is short win, I would say. South Africa 2 and Australia 5.
Australia is also next year. We don't know what the Australian squad would look like.
Ah.
So yeah.
Which team are we talking about right now?
India.
India, okay.
Yeah.
But
So
if you just if you look, I'm looking at the New Zealand pictures. Like they're facing England 3 matches away, Australia 4 matches away, and Pakistan 2 matches away.
that is actually
That's
tough.
Australia 4 matches away.
Yeah.
That is
Oh,
tough.
That is very tough.
That is tough. So okay, I did not know that, and I don't think
Australia 4 matches away.
Yeah, New Zealand.
New Zealand.
That is too much, man.
Yeah.
They're playing 4 matches.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never do that.
Yeah. So I think Australia is gonna whitewash New Zealand 4-0.
So maybe Pakistan might qualify.
I actually,
What if New Zealand
Australia might
does what they did to India?
They
No,
can.
so it might be a Pakistan versus India final.
Ooh.
I think ICC needs that.
You know what? I actually am vouching for that. Since Pakistan has the easiest route,
Yeah.
I am vouching for that. Like the only time they play each other in like the last, I don't know when the last test match was. India Pakistan का तभी था जब वो सहवाग के बाद
Yeah.
आए थे तब.
No, I think it was after that. Like Pakistan went to India.
हाँ, there was one series. Yes. Damn, bro, that's been a while.
That's
That's
been
been
a while, yeah.
For me, like my prediction is that whoever wins this series is gonna play the Test championship final between India and England.
So one of them.
One of them is
And
gonna.
who's gonna be the second finalist?
Second
Second
finalist.
depends, but I think the winner of this series is gonna play the Test.
He said Australia, but winner of this, actually, yeah. Yeah, that
Oh,
makes
Australia
sense.
also has like I think Australia has a big chance. So I think it's gonna be. So I think my top 3 would be like right now, as of now, would be
2 of 3.
Pakistan, India, and Australia, and obviously 2 of them would play the finals.
But Australia is also playing India and South Africa away.
No, South Africa I think should be easy for the Knights.
I feel like Australia can do well in
Yeah.
that series, in that away series.
South Africa?
Away series in India.
Kaivali.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
think they'll struggle.
No, because they did well in that 2023
हाँ,
series.
right
also.
before the WTC
Yeah.
final.
We had to make a flat
Yes.
quiz to draw it out.
3-2 था ना?
3-2 नहीं
3-1, 3-1.
No, but
it was
by
3-1.
that time, like I think even Usman Khawaja might retire, so they'll get 2 new openers, like middle orders.
But I don't think Australia ever faces the problem of people adapting
Yeah.
wherever it is. Something about like whatever's in their blood.
Yeah.
But मुझे नहीं लगता वो ऐसे हो जाते हैं बिल्कुल ही कि भाई 10 पे 5 हो गए एकदम से. I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
seen that.
Yeah.
But do you think like the final they lost is gonna have an effect on the next cycle, like mentally?
No, I don't
No,
think
I
so.
don't think so.
No, Australia.
They've lost so many things before, like
Yeah.
but they've won. I don't think it's gonna be that because Pat Cummins, that culture is just not there. So
I'm not. It won't affect Australia, but it might affect South Africa positively, I guess, because now they have.
South
confidence.
Africa is
Yeah. Now they
No,
have
but
confidence
if
to
you
win.
think about it, Pat Cummins did say that they want to do a little bit of a reset. So probably they probably face Usman Khwaja, but he's probably the only guy. Bowlers are fine.
I think it's the batting that's
Yeah.
lacking. वो India वाला problem है. Same India वाला problem है.
There's two guys performing, Travis Head and Steve Smith.
But
He has
only
to
but
battle
even
well.
the bowlers are aging now, so this might be the last
So like
testament show, I guess.
Pat Cummins, I think,
Pat
is the
Cummins is
youngest
fine.
of the lot.
He's fine.
32. Stark will. I think he's planning to play till 2027.
I think they're just waiting for the Ashes to get done, and then after that,
So
I
they'll
feel
get done
like-
after Ashes.
I think after
No,
Ashes,
I
we're
feel,
gonna
I
see
feel
lots
like
of
if they
changes.
wanted to be done after Ashes, they would have retired from ODIs too, which they haven't.
But Stark is fit though.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's not like he's facing
Yeah.
problems. कोई injuries नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. I think he will be able to play the 2027 unless something major happens.
I feel like they're eyeing the 2027 ODI World Cup as well.
Of course, they are.
Yeah.
And I think losing this Test Championship might give Stark more motivation to play the 2027.
Yeah, he's gonna be like IPL
Yeah.
screw off. Like
I want Australia to win that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So damn. Anyway, I think it's a good point for us to wrap. We probably like made
Okay,
it.
I think before we wrap, I think just one question, like I think short scale.
Sure.
So one player from England who you would have in India's playing 11.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
And vice versa.
exclude Joe Root from this because that's like.
Everyone would want him. So let's exclude Joe Root. Damn. I think it would be Chris Woakes. He plays that Hardik Pandya wala role.
Is it for the series or like?
For the season.
For the series. For the series. Whatever current squads look like.
And vice versa. One player that
From India
Yeah.
in England.
Yeah.
Oh. Probably.
England doesn't need any Indian
I think for me, it would
players. If you come to think
Jaiswal.
about
I
it.
think Jaiswal is the no-brainer.
That's true.
Mm.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree with
If
you.
you
That's
just
one place of
if you
quality.
exclude Bumrah, I think
That he, yeah.
Yeah, I would go with Harry Duke from the Indian side.
Okay. What about you?
Oh, yeah.
I think like looking at India's top order, obviously I think I would rather go I think I would rather go with the number 3 batsman. It could be like if like Joe Root could come and play at number 3, that's fine. Or even I think Oli Pope should be fine
Yeah.
for me. Like he could play as number 3 for India.
Alright, sounds good. So I think it's a wrap for everyone.
Yeah.
If everyone wants to discuss anything, I think it's a wrap. So thank
We
you all
talk
for
about
watching.
Kohli and Rohit and Punjab
Yes,
losing the final.
we're fine with that in the comments. Thank you everyone for watching.
Over and out.